Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Multi-Dimensional Shift podcast. This is your girl, Nee. We are here to connect through love, empathy, and high vibrations. Let's tap in. So today we have the privilege of tapping in with Bridget. Bridget, I knew since high school, and then ever since then, we kind of just stayed in touch and stayed cool. I'm not gonna lie, Bridget is like one of my, that's my girl. I don't know if it's like the Capricorn in you or what it is, but it might be. It just might be. Like, I notice I have like a lot of Capricorns around me because like I'm kind of like a free spirit, but Bridget is very grounded. I don't know how to explain it, but you've always just been like your authentic self, and I really appreciate that because then it brings the authenticity out in me. You know what I mean? Yes, yes. So, as your profession, you're a nurse, just like me. Yes. So, what inspired you to become a nurse?
So I would say, all right, I don't know if you know, but when I was in high school, I did BOCES, and I went along and did the program with CNA. So that was just random. I figured like, okay, I don't do sports or anything. Let me just get into something. So started that, and then when I got into it and became a CNA, and started working in the field, I noticed myself drawing closer to like nurses every time I worked, like asking them questions and like just interested in what they were doing. So, long story short, it's basically just the compassionate and like the critical thinking person just drew me
Close to the profession. Like for
sorry.
No, go ahead.
So, and I also like noticed that like I wanted to do more, but in my scope of practice as a CNA, you can't do certain things.
You're right. I'm gonna come back to that too. Hold on. I'll come back to that. With me, what drew me into nursing was well, firstly, like a lot of my family members are in the medical field, like either doctors or like nurses, CNAs. And that's what kind of like draw me into the healthcare field. But like what kind of made me stay was when I started taking my prerequisites. And for those that don't know, your prerequisites are like classes that you take prior to getting into the nursing program. The foundational prerequisites are generally like, because each institution or each school is different, but the foundational one is like A&P, bio. And I realized like A&P and bio, we locked in here for and they always said that was like the foundation of nursing. So you know what else I think is the foundation of nursing? Sociology. How you feel about that? Did you ever take that class?
I did.
Oh, you did? You don't like it?
I mean, I feel like
it didn't do much for you.
Yeah.
I don't know, for some reason.
I feel like in different, you know how like nursing is like really broad.
I
feel like in different specialties.
Right, for sure. Sociology. Yeah, like for me, I don't know. For some, those are the three classes that connected with me: sociology, bio, and then A&P. And so yeah, that's what drew me towards it. And then also, I'm not gonna lie, everybody knows it. It's like a stable career for the most part. Like, you know what I mean? It's a very stable job. And yeah, that's probably the reason. That was the two main reasons why I did it. But all right, so how do you feel about the trends that are happening now with nursing? Like everybody wants to be a nurse. Like for me, it was due to the fact that my family members, it kind of gravitated me towards it. And then with you, it was like the BOCES program. But how do you feel about the trend that's like everybody want to be a nurse now?
I feel like like right now, I feel like a lot of people like everywhere you turn, everyone wants to be a nurse. I feel like it's because of the money, and I don't like that because, like, I mean, yes, money was the world, everything, but I feel like in order for me to do something,
you actually have to like it.
I have to like it, and I feel like I've worked with a bunch of people, especially when I was doing travel nursing. Worked with a bunch of people. They just did it for the money, like no compassion or nothing, no empathy. So I don't like that at all.
Yeah, like,
and I feel like there's a lot of professions out there that you can still make
money and not have to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the aspect of it being a trend due to money either, because people need to realize that they may think what's money ain't really money. Because the trend, because we in it. We've been in, how long we been a nurse for? Like maybe 6-7 years. Yeah. Like we're actually in it. So like the trends that you've seen on Instagram are not actually what it is. It's really not, because it's really more to it. Like as a nurse, you're making good money, but it's enough to stabilize you and your family. It's not enough to like the trends that you see on Instagram. They're doing other things to get the money. It's not just nursing. So I need people to like really understand that and not to just go in it for the money, like you said, because you're dealing with other people and their lives.
Yeah, these are not mannequins. People, for real.
For real, like.
And I feel like, like I was just talking to my parents about this. Like, no matter what, like, you can make as much money as you want, but like if you don't know how to invest in it and save, it don't mean nothing.
Right.
Like my parents, they used to make less than me, and
doing the thing.
Put me and my siblings all in school. Like, come on, like I feel like if you don't know how to manage your money, there's really
it's no point. And it's not even. It's managing the money, but it's also because you know what it is. Nursing, there's potential and opportunity. But it's about the action that you put behind the potential and the action that you put behind the opportunity. If you don't know where to apply your money and, like you said, manage it, then there's no point. Like I have my grandma, she was a CNA making nursing money because she used to put in all this time and energy into the field. And then she used it to like into real estate and things like that. So like, yeah, it's definitely what you invest in. And that's another thing too, because you ever seen that meme where it was like, oh, it was like a meme saying like, oh, I'm not going to ask, it's in a nurse point of view. I'm not going to ask my man to buy me a bag. I'm not going to ask him to buy me, take me out on a trip. I'm just going to calculate the hours I got to put in to get what I want. Right? And that's nurse math. No, but that's not a fact.
That is a fact.
That's not a fact. But you got to also realize that our energy is very valuable. So like, we're sitting here putting our time and energy, like these are like, you're actually working. Like, especially like bedside nursing, you're dead working. I know people have this idea where like, especially on days when it's slow, maybe you have somebody, your family member in the hospital or whatnot, and you probably seeing the nurses sitting down for a little bit, probably documenting, and you think they not doing nothing. Like there's so much pressure on us.
Bro, or people be like, oh, you only work 3 days a week, 12 hours. 12 hours. I can't even get a break the whole 12 hours. So listen,
like
we actually be working.
We be working, okay? And then talk about the strain that we have to have on us, the mental strain that comes on us at sometimes. Like one of the nursing diagnoses that we have is like caregiver strain. And caregiver strain is not just like to family members, it's to us too, because we're caring for the patients as well, right? So like, what are some things you could talk about with that? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you get that? Or like...
I would say, yeah. I'm trying to put it into like mentally. I'll say like, for example, I don't know, maybe during COVID.
That's a good example.
Yes, girl, because I became a nurse during COVID. I became a nurse 2019, and then COVID happened
right after.
Yeah. So like just dealing with like patients passing, like every shift there was someone passing, like it was a lot, and it was like my first time dealing with that and dealing with family members trying to call in and check up on their people because they couldn't get into the hospital. Right. It was a lot mentally. And I feel like now it's so weird because like now that I'm experienced and for example, like a few months ago I had a new nurse that was working with me and they had to do post-mortem care for the first time and they were like bawling. I'm like, damn. And for me, I'm like, oh,
this is regular.
I'll take care, but that's not regular.
It's dead not regular.
At all. And you could do post-mortem care and then go on break the next day.
Eat food.
That's crazy.
You know when that hit, I'm glad you gave that example. That's a perfect example because you know when it hit me, when one of our mutual friends asked me like, oh, that she mentioned the same thing. And I'm like, you know I'm sentimental. I'll start crying for everything. When my feelings start hitting, it start, okay? And I really had to sit there and process like, yo, I really be wrapping dead bodies. Like, well, for me, another example of caregiver strain for me was like, where I would like have to deal with family members that you could tell are really attached to their family. There's some people's connections and bonds that are just different. And then you feel, especially being like, I don't want to use, because I feel like that's a trend to it, being empath. But like when you really feel other people's like energy, it hit you different. Like there's times where I would like, I'm trying to save a person's life and like, there's only but so much you could do with the pressors and all that type of stuff. And they end up dying for whatever reason. And I have to go in the pantry and start crying and come back out like nothing happened. Like, It's dead crazy. It is. I don't want to talk down on nursing, and I don't want to discourage anybody with nursing, but just understand what you're getting yourself into. It's like real life.
Dealing with you know.
For a fact. So what else can we talk about? All right, so let's go back to the CNA's topic. Because I feel like there's like some type of disconnect with CNAs and RNs. For y'all that don't know, CNAs are certified nursing assistants. There's also PCTs, which are like patient care techs. Um, and then there's RNs. I feel like there's like this feud that's going on with CNAs and RNs. Or do you even see that? Because I can't see that you see that.
I feel like it really depends. Like, okay, so
yeah, tell the story. I see the story in your face.
CNA, like honestly, like you were saying, like, oh, nurses just sitting to chart. I used to be like, oh my god, this girl can't help me out. Like now that I'm a nurse, now I understand. Like, right. I feel like, and I be like, being a CNA, like I'm really chill with my CNA. As long as you do your job, just do your job. Like I don't care. So I feel like that's like the disconnect. They feel like, oh, nurses have it easy. No, and then like this is one CNA I used to work with, and she became a nurse. She's like, oh, like I see what you mean. Yeah, we're not just sitting here. We're not sitting there. And at the end of the day, like if you don't do your job, it will fall on me. You know, like I could delegate stuff to you, but you can't. Like, no, you could. I could delegate stuff to you, but you can't do my job. Period. Yeah. So it's like, period. And we have a lot on our plate. So if you're not doing vital signs or you're not doing blood sugars, I have to stop what I'm doing to go do it. Right. And that's something that you could do. And that's ultimately taking care away from the patient because we're all here to do the same job. So I feel like I don't know, maybe just educating them, letting them know like what we have to do and what they have to do. Sometimes they understand, sometimes they don't, and I really don't care. For me, I find that it's like I see both perspectives. I'm always a perspective person. Like I'll put myself in somebody else's shoes real quick, right? And I'm glad you said that because you was in both positions, so you're able to see both perspectives, right? Like for me, there's times where I will connect with nurses more, and there's times where I'll connect with CNAs more, because I feel like a lot of times people use the title that they have as an ego-driven thing, right? And that's where CNAs come from. CNAs, sometimes they see that like, okay, like this person thinks they're better than me because their title is above me, but that's not how you should like navigate life. You know what I mean? And then the CNA's aspect, some of them honestly I'm not gonna hold you. Some of them either come from a place of defensiveness because it's like, I have to defend myself because I dealt with other nurses that are like, you know, mean or whatever. And then sometimes it's like an inferiority complex where it's like they feel inferior, so they have to like defend themselves again. So it just depends on where you're coming from with each perspective. And I'll give you a quick story. So when I just graduating nursing school, I ended up getting my first job in a nursing home. You did that too, right? Nursing home was my first job. And then there was this CNA that came on board. And I probably was there for like 2 years. So I kind of was acclimated with everybody there, like cool. Does this happen to you that where like you're best friends with like a 50-year-old because of nursing? That in the nursing home. Facts. Like you there chopping it up with like a 50-year-old. Like that's your best friend. But anyway, that's beside the point. But yeah, like, yeah, there's a CNA. She was probably around my age, maybe a little bit older than me. And she was from the hood. You could tell when people were from the hood. And don't get me wrong, I'm like from the Bronx too. Like, like I'm like from upstate, but I'm from the Bronx too. You know what I mean? And but you could just spot out people and tell where they from. So anyway, she is the one that I'm talking about that had like this inferiority complex with her. Because everybody that know me, first of all, I don't even like to ask for help. So if I'm asking you for help, that means I really need it. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So like, or if I'm asking you or delegate, I don't even like saying I'm telling you to do something. If I'm delegating you to do something, it's like because I can't do it right now. You feel what I'm saying? And she didn't like that aspect of it. And the girl dead tried to fight me. I was there. She was coming up to me, and the reason why I brought up the 50-year-old is because the 50-year-old was standing right there, and while she was walking up to me, you could tell she was about to swing. And honestly, not on the job. This is may not be. Maybe you need different type of experiences so it could like humble you a little bit. Not humble you, but like point you in the right direction. I guess I don't know. But in that moment, I was ready to fight too. Because in that moment, because it's like for me, my way of life is like
I try to move with the most pure intentions, but if I feel like my life is in jeopardy, I'm gonna have to stand my ground, period. But I don't encourage people to do that. I'm just saying, years ago in that time, like, that's how I felt, because she was walking up to me like she was ready to swing. Like, and you ever seen an animal or a person like locked into their target? That was dead her eyes. That was dead her eyes. It was like locked in, like. And then when the 50-year-old that I'm close with was like, I don't even know she's 50, but she up there in age. That's my girl. She know who I'm talking about. I just hit the mic. But that's my girl. She was like, hey. And then the girl, like, she like snapped out of it, but she was like ready to like fight me. I say that to say that was one experience that I had. But then I had other experiences with CNAs that like, they see that I'm like humble and like, or I won't even want to say humble, but like they see that I treat them like they're a regular person just like me, and we connect just like that. Like, those are like my people. That's how it should be. But I'm on a rant. All right, so let me ask you.
Wait, I'll ask some questions.
Yeah, not good. I love it.
So back to where you said, like, if I feel like my life is in jeopardy, have you ever been in a situation where a patient or family member... I'm saying this because I had a situation.
I had a situation. Girl, you want to tell yours first, or you want me to tell? No. All right, I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna see if I can remember verbatimly. But I remember. All right. So there was a patient that was like critically unstable, right? Like, that means that, I mean, they're critically stable. That means that they're stable. Their vital signs are stable, but they're in critical condition. Anything could switch just like that, right? So the family members, she from the hood too. The family member from the hood. She called me on the phone and was like, I would like to have an update on my family member, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, there's only but so much I could tell you over the phone. HIPAA. There's only but so much I could tell you over the phone. But the patient is critically stable. And I guess the way I said it, maybe she interpreted it the wrong way she received, because that's another thing. It's not about what sometimes is what you say and how you say it, and then also like based off of those other persons that is the receiver, whatever experiences that they have and how they are, depending on how they receive it, is how they're going to receive it. I don't know how to explain it other than that, but like some other people's experiences and traumas can mold the way that they perceive information, is what I'm trying to say. So all I know is my intent wasn't to say anything disrespectful, but she took it that way. Anyway, she called up the supervisor and she was like, oh, I guess the supervisor got word back, and then the supervisor called me and was like, oh, the family member called and complained saying X, Y, and Z. I can't remember exactly what I said. So other than that, she was critically stable. I know for a fact that came out of my mouth, but she felt like I was being insensitive of the fact that because I think it's because I kept pushing that I can't say anything over the phone. It's like, there's nothing much I could say other than that she's critically stable. Like, and she just wanted, well, I'm the next of kin. I'm like, man, you're the next of kin, but there's not much I could say over the phone. Like, so then she came with her other family member. I think it was her mom at the time. And she pointed to me. She was like, oh, you're nurse so-and-so? And she's like, oh yeah, that's her. I already see the type of time I'm on. I already see what we about to deal with. So she's like, oh yeah, that's her or whatever. So then she starts like blacking on me, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember because this happened a while ago. She starts blacking on me, blah, blah, blah. And in the midst of it, there's doctors around, there's patients around, there's everybody around, because I worked morning shift at the time. So like now I'm trying to figure out a way to like de-escalate the situation. So I'm like looking at her dead in her eye, because sometimes when you do that, like people will calm down, but it just depends if they want to or not. So I'm like looking at her dead in her face. I'm like, listen, can we talk on the side really quick? Because like now you're putting on a show. I didn't say you're putting on a show, but I see what you're doing. Like you're trying to put on a show. She was like, oh, can we talk? I was like, can we talk on the side really quick? And she was like, oh, no, we can't talk. I don't want to. And that's when I knew I couldn't do anything after that. Like at this point, and she went into the room and like her eyes was like, again, the target. Like she wanted to come up. And once I realized I can't like de-escalate the situation, I just walked away. Cause like my license and I worked hard for it. You know what I mean? And it was so funny because the clerk came back and she was like, no, come back and state your claim, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I already tried to pull her aside. I'm not stating anything else, because if she swings on me, I don't know what my response may be. And that's real. So the first thing is know thyself. So you de-escalate the situation by moving. That's it. So I'm gonna stop running my jibs. What was your situation?
Alright, I'm not gonna talk too much, but it's gonna be long story short. Basically, it was really something simple too. So I had a patient. She was like 20, and then her mom was on the phone with me. She was trying to get her transferred to a different hospital that they're familiar with because their doctor is there, right? And she was really critical. I'm on the INC unit, so she was really critical. And the doctors were like, it's not safe for her to go right now, and this and that. So they were like, when she's a little stable, we'll transfer her. Her mom was really like, no, adamant, like, I want her to go. So she pulled up on the unit. And instead of coming to anyone else, the doctors, you spoke to the doctor, she comes to me. She's like, oh, where's her nurse? So she comes charging to me. I'm chilling on the unit like, this is like 6 p.m. I'm almost ready to leave. Right. She comes to me. She was like, oh, I don't like the way you was talking to me on the phone. Basically, I explained to her what the doctor had, basically told her, like, oh, she's critical right now. She cannot leave. She was like, I don't like the way you talk. Ratchet, ghetto, all of that. She comes to me, and then like she's coming and she's right here in my face. So I'm backing up because I'm like, if this woman swings at me or does anything, so I back up. And then she keeps coming. I was like, man, I don't like the way you're coming towards me. Right. Like, right now I don't feel safe and everything. And then so I'm telling the unit clerk, I'm like, call security right now, because right now, like she's hot. Right. I'm shaking and everything. She's hot. So she's like, oh, I don't care about security. I'll drag you down this hall. I was girl, like, why I gotta be all that? Like so that's like that's basically right. I'm like, why do we have to deal with that? Like, and then I had to it was like a whole investigation. I had to report it. And I feel like one thing I feel like some security guards or some departments, they will protect their staff. But with that situation, they were like, basically like patient first. Right. But I'm like, I ain't doing nothing to the patient. Right. Right. And that's what it be. That's another part of caregiver strain though. Cause like, not only are we dealing with patients, but we're dealing with family members. We dealing with the damn family members. We dealing with. The patient was chill. Not working on nothing. And not only are we dealing with the family members, we dealing with other patients and other family members, other disciplinaries, like or whatever the case may be, like management. We're dealing with respiratory therapists. We're dealing with. Girl, we're everything. We're in the middle of everything. Dietary, the kitchen, all of that. Transport. Everyone. And best believe if something go wrong, it's on the nurse. Exactly. It's on the nurse. So speaking about us dealing with other professionals, how do you feel about do you have any experiences with doctors or anything like that? Or good or bad? Yeah, either. I had both. I feel like I used to have bad experiences in the beginning of my nursing career where doctors just talk to you crazy, and like, at the beginning, like this is the beginning of your career, you don't know what to say. You're not as confident. Yeah. Exactly. So but now, like, I feel like I'm more comfortable with them, especially just hopping around with different specialties and different units. Like, I'm comfortable. More comfortable. Around it with them. It's right. Nice to come into them when there's like an issue. So yeah, I feel like it's really like just like communicating and just like letting them know like who not, because they will walk over you. Right. You let them. Literally, so, just like any person. Having confidence in their, your career and all. Right. And I think a lot of misconceptions that people have is that like doctors are our bosses. No. They put the order in, but they're not our boss. They're not our boss. And all right, let me not, because I don't want to go there, but I feel like we're all a team and we all have our roles. And there's times when the doctors need us just like how we need them. Period. Doctors are not our bosses. It's an I think that's the word, interdisciplinary kind of thing. We're working together. There's times where doctors ask for our help, and there's obviously times when they're more experienced that they, put in orders and things of that nature. So I just want to get that out of the way. Yeah, no shade to doctors at all, because we need them. Yep. Facts. So, all right, we on a rant. We are. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna come up with a question in a second. Okay, so I feel like I think we're truly blessed to have a career like this, honestly, because one of the blessings of it is that we
you don't have to stay stagnant with nursing. Like, you don't have to, there's so many options. Like, you don't have to do bedside. You could like, there's just, you could venture out so much, right?
If you're not like in one
Thing,
specialty or
you
whatever,
go to the
you go
next.
one.
And 9 times 10, there's probably a job there for you. So I say that to say, what was I saying? Damn, I be running my jibs, bro. What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah, right. So one thing that I ended up doing that we both had the opportunity of doing was travel nursing, right? So I met this girl while I was on orientation, and she goes to say, we were all talking, it was probably like 4 of us at the lunch table when we had break. And she says, oh, I find that like nursing could be very cliquish. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like, first of all, do you feel like it's cliquish?
I don't think so.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Like how cliquish?
Like in terms of like cultural cliquish.
Like within the job?
Like Philippine, because you know nursing is very diverse. So Filipinos with Filipinos.
Oh, that type of cliquish.
That type of cliquish. That's what she was referring to.
I really don't see it. Maybe, I guess it depends where you're working. I feel like when I was, I'm not gonna say where, but when I was working at my first semester job after the nursing home, just the population, like you said, Filipino. But I never experienced where like, yes, they have their group and everything, but I never experienced where they like, would treat me different.
Right. And I'm so glad you said that, because my first experience in nursing, I would say that initially I would have her mindset. I would think that like people were cliquish. But what I've come to realize, being able to be around different people, is understanding that people click to what they're familiar to. So if we have like the same cultural background or we have the same common thing, it's easier to gravitate towards that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're like trying to be against you, right? Because I had scenarios where I worked at a hospital, and the women that are like the nurses that are part of my family's culture, Jamaican, were against me. Or I would have like,
you were younger, you know how.
But I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell you, because that'd be a thing. But then I also had Jamaican women that were with me, right? And then I had Filipino people that were with me. Or for me, it comes down to your spirit. It's not about the title. It's not, to me, that's what I realized. It's not about the title, it's about the spirit. Whoever gravitates to you, and whoever doesn't. And it's just that, you know what I mean? And that's what I explained to her. That was my perspective on it. I'll even get, when I was leaving one of the jobs that I was at for like 3 years, there was this one lady I'm talking about in particular. She used to go around and try to convince everybody else not to like me. Like, you ever notice that work is kind of like high school in certain aspects? She used to like say like things to like, but people would like try to come back people will come back and tell me the information. But one thing about me, God gave me the power of discernment. So before you come and tell me, I already know. I already know, you know what I mean? And I say that to say that like at my end of my time there, we were always taking pictures, and I ended up hugging her at the end. But I hugged, and you could tell she was uncomfortable with the hug. And then we ended up taking pictures. And if I show you, I'm gonna show you the pictures after. When I show you the pictures, the first picture that she took, we were all separate. The second, I started laughing. You know, my laugh is mad contagious. I started laughing about something, and then you saw like all of us come together in that picture, and you wouldn't even think she was my enemy, right? You know what I mean? And what I did in that time was just show love, because for whatever reason, you know how you said that it could be because I was young, which is a true thing. But I feel like what it comes down to, what the root is if whatever your spirit doesn't like in me is a trigger from you. I try my hardest to like move out of love. And even though like she was triggered at me for whatever reason, I don't know what that is, only she knows. I understand that we're all interconnected, and she is me and I am her. You know what I mean? And at one point somebody triggers me at one point and I have to figure out why. I don't take it personally because it has nothing to do with me. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I moved in for the hug, and I'm not going to see her again. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And maybe that light. You feel what I'm saying? That light, and clearly she did, because in the picture she was happy as hell. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it comes down to like the spirit of the person. It's not really like, anything else but that. Yeah. So what are some advice that you would give someone that wants to start off with nursing, or whatever the case may be, nursing and school?
I would say do it because you want to do it. Because it's definitely not easy, especially in nursing school. It's definitely not easy, but if you put your heart into it and that's really what you want, you're definitely gonna succeed. And there's so many, like you said, about so many. If you don't like one thing, you can house for another thing. So many specialties, so many roles. There's bedside. Like I've hopped around. I've done med surg, nursing home, case management, traveling, virtual nursing. There's a lot. That's
You did a lot.
Yeah. Like
she said, "Yeah, I know that's right. Pop that shit, bro."
For real. But yeah, definitely do it because you want to. Because you're really dealing with human beings, not just your patient, but family members. You're dealing with everyone: doctors, social workers, just a few to name it.
Yeah, like you're impacting lives. I agree. So like, okay, what's some advice with school? Like, what would you give with school? Like what should be your mindset with getting into school?
Well, getting into school, I would say, I mean, if you're not into science, it's gonna be a little rough. But I would say like prepare with like your prereqs. Definitely try to get good grades, because like for me, it took me like twice to get into nursing school, and like my grades wasn't all that, but I retook some prereqs just to get good grades and just to get back in. So I'll say just yeah.
Oh, I love that you said that, because I feel like a lot of times people have this narrative that like life is perfect and it's just like a straight road. It ain't never a straight road. It ain't never a straight road, because like you just reminded me of like the hurdles that I was going through when I was in nursing school. And I was never a school person. When I was in middle school, elementary school, high school, I don't know how I passed. I just showed up. Okay, I just showed up. And I'm not bragging about that. That just is what it is. I just showed up. And then when I got into college, that's when it dawned on me. Everybody have like a spark. It dawned on me that you literally have to do what you got to do. Like, this is the real world now. You're an adult now. Like, nobody else is going. You got to put in the work.
The professors, like, you go to them, try to tweak your grades. No, this is real life.
And then you pay for it at the end. Exactly. You know what I mean? Exactly. And I remember I was going to a guidance counselor that wasn't a guidance counselor for nursing school, but it was a guidance counselor for the whole institution, the whole school. And I showed him my grades because my first semester, it wasn't the greatest, right? Because I was just getting acclimated with even trying to study. I didn't know how to study at one point. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I never done it before. And my grades reflected that. So I was going to him and he was like, "Oh, you're never gonna go get into the nursing program." They love saying that one. You never gonna get into the nursing program. He showed me a whole bunch of other jobs I never heard of in my life. Okay, and I'm like, you know what? I did not listen to him. You know what I did? The next semester, those were the classes that really counted. That was the A&P, the bio. I did good in the first semester, but like A&P and all the other classes, I did really good. Like my GPA was good. So you know what I did? I was proactive. I waltzed my little self up into the administration office that picks who's going to be in the nursing program, sat in front of him and was like, "What do I have to do to get into the nursing program?" Sat in front of him, showed him my grades. I said, "What is the outcome?" He was like, "You know what? Honestly, your science grades, this grades is really good. So your chances are really high." And honestly, my chances may have not even been that extremely high, but probably the fact that I stepped into that office made it 10 times better. Period. So like, I want people to know that it's like, just because you didn't do good in high school, or we have this narrative that like, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not gonna say like the Black community, but somewhat in like the hood areas, your mindset is not really on school like that. Let's be honest. There's so many other distractions and stuff like that, and a lot of people come out with the mentality that, oh, I can't get into this, that, and the third, because it just was never for me. But
the people around you.
Right. Yeah. But if everything is energy, and what you put your energy into will succeed. So I just want to leave with that.
And don't let any advisors, anybody tell you anything, because that happened to me too. Like, I originally wanted to go to like a 4-year school and get like my bachelor's in the beginning. And that school, they were telling me like, oh, you will never get into the nursing program with this grade. That's what made me transfer to get my associates.
Right.
That's another thing. Like, you like just because you don't get into one school, like, doesn't mean you won't get into another. Like, you can get your RN degree at a 4-year school, at a community college, and even that, like, I got my degree at a community college, like you, and just worked my way, did RN to BSN after that. So there's different routes, and honestly, I'm appreciative of the route that I went to.
Me too. I loved it. Yeah, that was the best route for me. Honestly,
right after school, like, you still able to work,
right?
And you could work, and still go to school and earn your bachelor's. So there's different routes.
There's different. I love how you said it. You hitting them points. I love how you said it's different routes, because like people be thinking like life is like a math equation. Like 1 + 1 = 2, but so does 2 + 0. You feel what I'm saying? Like
I have to think for that.
Like there's always a different way. And same thing with businesses. Like what one person won't do, another person will. So like if you really want to do it, just go for it. I really emphasize that, but go for it with the right intentions. Your intentions always has to be pure. And I think this was a good episode.
It was.
I really appreciate you coming out. Like I said, this is my girl. This is my girl right here, So thank you, Bridget, so much for coming. Thank you for joining us. And that concludes the Multidimensional Shift podcast. Love and empathy always.